Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and today I'm here with, actually it's not even a subscriber request, it's multiple subscriber requests over quite a long period of time, and I sort of avoid doing the video or answering it because I don't think there's an ultimate answer. But I thought, you know what, we might as well do this, it might help somebody, and as you've seen by the title, it's scraps. I'm asked numerous times, can I share my system for storing scraps? Do I categorize them? What do I do with them? Now, if you're here looking for the ultimate answer on how to deal with your scraps, there isn't one. There is only the answer and the system that works best for you. And what I would say is try multiple systems and eventually you'll find the one that works for you. There is no ultimate scrap storage system. Okay? Let's just clear the field on that, but this may help someone. So I pulled out all the different sort of scrap things I do as far as storage, and I'm going to go through them. I mean, I'm not going to do complete flip throughs because that would take hours. I use plastic boxes quite often. These boxes actually sit in a drawer because if I put the scraps directly in the drawer, I can never get them all out. So to put them in a box and then put the box in the drawer means that I can route through them. So this is pattern scraps. And when I say pattern, this is paper pattern scraps. And this is what I would use for multiple different things, from art journaling to, as you can see, there's stuff that I would use for ephemera, stuff like that. So this is pattern scraps. Next, I have another box that's called plain scraps. Now, these plain scraps are things that I would use to back things with, or maybe if I was doing some vintage ephemera or something and I wanted like some brown, oh, that's in the wrong place. Pull those out, they go in the other box. I wanted some sort of coffee dyed or just paper torn and put down the edge or something, then this is the box. This one doesn't normally get a lot of scraps in it because I tend to use those quicker than anything else. Then we have the third box, which is in the third drawer, and this is card scraps, which is where basically this belongs. Now, these card scraps are things that these were boxes that you can fold up and use, but they were given to me. I never used them, so I've cut them into panels. This is what I would use for bases. I would use them for ephemera stuff, or I needed to reinforce something, or I wanted to make some card hinges for stuff. This is pretty much the box for that. It's going to get a little more interesting, don't worry. I have two more boxes of scraps. Now this box is my scraps for tissue, whether it's wet strength or it's gift wrap tissue. I put this in here because, as you've seen, I will stamp stuff onto pieces of tissue for use in collage and art journals. So that's where the scraps go. There's another drawer for wet strength tissue. There's another drawer for, and these are full sheets, for newspaper, print offcut sheets, and there's another one for wet strength gift wrap. And yeah, there's three drawers. One is wet strength, one is gift wrap tissue, one is newspaper offcut paper. There's another small box, which is this one. And these are all the things, like if I get a book and I've trimmed the edges off the page or something like that, or like this came out of an old ledger, and I'm not going to throw that out, that's gorgeous, I'll use it for something. But this is where all of these sort of end book pages go and things. These are the ones that when I have a bit of time or I'm having a day where I'm not feeling that creative, I use these to stamp my labels, my words, stuff like that, which then bulks up my ephemera, and they end up like this. So this is a couple of sheets I'm working on. So even if I just stamp them out and put them in, I mean, these are other people's papers, but I will also stamp numbers and things on them. So you can see this, you can see I'm running low, and that's probably why this box is so full, is I'm running low on them. So what I do is I'll stamp out the frames and then I'll go in and stamp words or numbers into them. Also in the same place as these, there is this box, and this box is where I go through, and I've got spare paint or ink on the go, I stamp the tissue that's in there, or I've got offcut pieces, and I pop them in here, and then these get used in collage pieces, mixed media pieces, art journal pages. So these stay together because in my mind they're all scraps that get stamped and utilized in a specific way. Now, off to one side of my desk is this. It's what is it? It was a wine box that I put a handle on the front of because I liked it. And this is where all of like gel print or like that's a painted book page, bits that are too small to stack neatly, but are big enough to actually keep for another project. So this whole box, I hope I can get that in the screen. This whole box is basically just full of stuff. I will grab this very often when I'm making something and I'm like, say I want a belly band, I would probably grab these and go, right, let's turn those into belly bands. Or if I wanted a border down the side of a page. So this is another scrap thing. Now, I will say I am quite brutal with my scraps. So all of the boxes you've seen so far and the 2 drawers you're going to look at as well, usually about every 6 months, I give myself about an hour to go through all the scraps. And when you're looking at scraps, there's always the stuff at the bottom that never gets used. Oh, what's that doing in there? That shouldn't be in there. That was a gift off someone. So I will go through, tip the whole scrap box out and get rid of things that just don't catch my eye. I can be incredibly brutal about getting rid of scraps because no matter how many scraps you use, every day I'm creating more scraps. And I would rather give valuable real estate to paints and other equipment and materials than trying to fill boxes and boxes of scraps that I probably wouldn't actually get through if I lived to 150. Then we go into slightly bigger storage. Now this one had a good old cleanse about a week ago, so this one's pretty sparse at the moment. So in here, these are basically cleanup sheets or strips cut off the edge of, this is newsprint, off-cut paper, this is, that's wet strand tissue, that's gift wrap tissue. So this is where strips and stuff go. However, this one, this box here, is where full page pieces go. Some of these are finished, some of these are not finished, some of these are going to be used, some of them might need a layer of paint or something. Oh, forgot those were in there, I need to play with those. Some of these are not even my, actually I think, I will say Darcy sent me that. So this is just pretty much what I would call like a virgin sheet of art, so I could come in and maybe do a whole background with that. So this is, as I said, this was up to about here, and when I actually gutted it, this is what I'm left with. Now I know some of you are probably really horrified by that statement, but please add into the mix that I suffer from anxiety, and one of the main triggers is if I've got too much stuff hanging around, it overwhelms me. If I get overwhelmed, I either shut down or I go into panic mode. So a lot of you always comment, Ceri, your workspace is so neat and tidy and you're always organized. It's my coping mechanism. I find I'm very creative and productive in neat, organized surroundings. That's not the same for everybody. You must find what works best for you. I have found my creativity thrives in neat, organized situations. I'm incredibly methodical in my entire life. But if you're someone who's absolutely chaotic or have crafter lunches, it's completely fine. Absolutely, completely fine. As long as you get joy from your creativity in the way you are creating, that's absolutely fine. Now, this is probably the drawer that doesn't get purged very often. This is a drawer that's full of all of my gel print cleanup. Actually, I think that was a video. I think that was a video. This is where all of my cleanup sheets go. This is where I use it like that. Amazon packaging. Is that might be Amazon packaging. This is newsprint off-cut paper. So these are all just sheets and sheets of cleanup. So when you see me doing a video and I'm like, it's cleanup time, these are the things to one side that I'm just pulling my gel plate over or my brayer over to and working with. Like here's smaller sheets that these were just offcuts from cutting bigger sheets down. And then I just use them to clean up. So I stockpile this stuff and then occasionally I'll pull it in and I might do a piece of art with it. I might send it out as Happy Mail. I don't send much nowadays because of a certain American person and their tariffs. But this is very good. Like this is wet strand tissue by the feel of it. There is this, actually, I would say this is gift wrap tissue, this one. I would say that's gift wrap tissue as well. So as you can see, this is another version of, I keep these like this because I do occasionally, so I can reach it, I've got this spiral bound sketchbook, and what I'll do occasionally is I will take these and actually just glue them in. So I've got page backgrounds, and then there's another one in there. Have I got any more in there? They've got another one in there. And these I will just, you know, I've been trying to do more and more doodling. These are just a workplace for me to grab a couple of pens and maybe doing some intuitive marks and so. This is waste as far as I'm concerned. So if I've made an art journal out of it and it's something that is not costing me anything more than time to do, then that's where I do all my doodling. The other thing I do, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is you're now familiar with this box. We've used it a few times. This is where I put like book pages that I've actually painted and made on as part of my cleanup process. You've seen this. I use this with a set of dice, and I will make ephemera occasionally in a video. I very often will do the same process without a camera. I'll go, right, I'll roll the dice and go, right, it's number 3 and it's number 5. Let's try and make something out of that. But my ultimate storage, and I use storage with sort of a bit of a twist of the word, the biggest secret to scraps is just use them. And you don't need to use them on ephemera all the time. This is something I really enjoy. It was a scrapbook that I found in the thrift store just for a couple of quid. And what I do is I literally, are you in shot? You are in shot. I think you're in shot. I make masterboards out of them. Now, I like looking at these, but if I had a project coming up where one of these pages would be perfect, I'd tear the pages out and I'd use it. I could, because it's a 12 by 12, get that turned over, I could easily cut this into, say, a 9 by 12 and actually make a journal cover out it, and then the piece that was left could be pockets. I could make it into ephemera. I could do it. I could cut these into 4 by 6s and then put a focal point on them and make greetings card toppers. Oh, that's another thing I do. Like, this was part of a collaboration, a couple of years ago now, with a friend of mine, Tracy Fox, and I think it was called Creep on June. I'm almost certain it was called Creep on June. And once I'd finished the collaboration and done my part and shared the video, I had bits and pieces left over from the digitals that were supplied. So I put them all into here because I'd rather make a themed masterboard than I would just keeping all the scraps and they get damaged. So as you can see, like, these were part of 6 by 6 with some washi. This was, I think this was, what's that paper you fold? Origami paper pack. This was, oh, there you go. I even left this one in but cut this strip off because I must have needed something that was this colourful. I want to say this was a digital from Rachel and Bella Craft, and again I did a collaboration, so at the end of it I used all the scraps to actually build this. This was my own stuff. This was just, you've seen me do the clean up sticky labels where I clean my braille off onto sticky label sheets and then I stamp them. These are just sticky labels. I mean, basically, so this is made from trash or rubbish. What was this? Oh, this was Tracy Fox again. This was a Christmas collaboration I did with Tracy Fox. I can't remember what the collaboration was. It was all about Christmas stories with accompanying papers and digitals. So I came in and again I used it up for this. This is actually, that's another, as you can see, I work with Tracy Fox quite often because I love Tracy. This was her, I think this was Edgar Allan Poe, the Edgar Allan Poe journal or diaries or notebooks or something like that. And these were the spare pieces I had, so I made a masterboard out of that. This was just me having fun. I just launched this, I need to trim that off out. I just launched this Ammonite stamp that I designed for PM Artist Studio. I wanted to try it out, and in the same month I did a review of a paint brand, and I used the paint paint. I tested it all out on tissue, then I stamped over it and just stuck it all down. It's colourful. What I'm going to use it for, I have no idea. But you know what? I'd rather have this as a masterboard on already stuck in a book that's tidy and neat than actually just bits of tissue floating around. And I've only got one page left. Oh, I'll have to get another one of these. So I'm not sure whether that helped or hindered, confused or clarified what I do with my storage stuff, but I'm hoping that that has helped somebody by answering some sort of question. There are other things of storage in this room as well, but they're not scrap. Okay, they are literally like full pieces of card, full pages. There's stuff like that. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was informative. And if you're a newbie, I'm more than happy to answer questions. Just drop them in the comments. I will do my best to get to them. I read and answer all my comments. Although what I would say is because of the volume of comments I receive, it may take me a while to get back to you. Sometimes if you don't get an answer to it, but you get a heart or something, it could be something like this, where in this instance, I'd made a note to do a video as an answer, and I'll do it as a video. So I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time, goodbye now.